Hey everyone, so it's 2026, and the world of AI is just wild, right? It feels like every day there's a new, more powerful model. But with all these choices, it leads to the big question, which one is actually the best? Which one should you be using? Well, let's get into it.
I mean, seriously, a new frontier model seems to drop every other week, and every single one of them claims to be the new king of the hill. If you're feeling kind of overwhelmed by all the options, you are definitely not alone. It's a real challenge trying to figure out which one is the right fit.
What we're witnessing right now is this incredible, high-stakes battle for who's on top. We've got four major players who have really pulled ahead of the pack, and they are all fighting for that number one spot. And this isn't just about who has the coolest new feature. This is about who gets to define the future of AI.
And here they are, our champions. You've got OpenAI's GPT-5.4, the latest in a legendary line. Then there's Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6, which so many writers absolutely love. Of course, you have Google's powerhouse Gemini 3.1 Pro, and the real wildcard from xAI, Grok 4. So, who wins? Well, the answer is a whole lot more interesting than you might think.
Okay, so the first thing we have to do is just get this idea out of our heads that there's one single best AI. That might have been the conversation back in 2024, but here in 2026, the name of the game is specialization. It's all about what they do best. Just take a look at this. It's fascinating, right? The leadership is spread all over the place. Grok is at the top for programming. Gemini is the undisputed champ of pure reasoning. Claude completely dominates writing. And then Gemini also takes the lead in those really complex multimodal tasks. See, no single model just sweeps every category. Let's dig into programming for a second because it's a perfect example of this specialization. On paper, if you just look at the benchmarks, Grok 4 has the highest score. But in the real world, Claude is the engine that's powering some of the most popular developer tools out there, like Cursor. So, what do you want? The benchmark winner or the one with the best ecosystem? Now, when you talk about that deep, heavy-duty reasoning, the kind of thinking you need for scientific research or academic work, Gemini 3.1 Pro is just in a class of its own on those benchmarks. It is the brainiac of the group for sure. But it's really important to know that Claude is incredibly capable here too, especially when you let it use external tools to help it think. For all you writers out there, the choice is so interesting. Claude Opus 4.6 is pretty much seen as having the most natural, human-sounding prose, and it can handle enormous documents. But on the other hand, GPT 5.4 has this feature called Canvas, which is an incredible editing environment that a lot of people just can't live without. It's that classic trade-off. Do you want better raw output or a better user experience for shaping it? Okay, so we've pretty much established there is no single winner. The real question isn't which AI is the best. It's which AI is best for you. And really, the only way to answer that is to think about what you're actually going to be doing with it. Let's get practical. I mean, think about it. Are you a developer who spends all day, every day in your code editor? Are you a researcher who's just sifting through tons of complex data? Or are you a writer trying to craft the next great novel? Your answer to this question, well, it changes everything. All right, if you're programming, your top two choices are pretty clear. You could go with Grok 4 if you want to bet on the model with the absolute highest benchmark scores. But if you live inside tools like Cursor, then Claude is your champion, no question, just because of how deeply it's integrated. For those really heavy-duty research and analysis tasks, Gemini 3.1 Pro should probably be your first stop. It's just the leader in pure reasoning power. But don't sleep on Claude. It is a very close second and a fantastic alternative, especially if you're using it with other tools. And finally, for all you content creators, if your number one priority is the quality and the natural feel of the final text, especially for long stuff, Claude Opus 4.6 is the clear winner. But if your process involves a ton of back and forth, editing, and refining, then the actual experience inside GPT 5.4's Canvas might just be more valuable to you. Okay, so we've walked through the use cases, and you might be thinking, all right, I've got my answer. But I'm about to throw you a major curveball. For a huge number of people, especially in the business world, everything we've just talked about is completely missing the most important point. This quote, this gets right to the heart of it. For real-world business problems, think customer support or sales, obsessing over which model is like 2% better on some obscure benchmark is totally focusing on the wrong thing. And here's the crucial idea. The real winner isn't a model, it's a system. This is what we call an AI agent. Think of it like this. The model is just the engine.
The agent is the entire car. It's an intelligent system that uses an AI as its brain, but it surrounds it with tools, knowledge, and business logic to actually get work done.
So here's how that works in the real world. A smart agent doesn't just try to answer every single question with one brain. First, it routes the query. It figures out, is this a sales question, a support question? Then it retrieves specific private info, like from your company's internal wiki. And this is the most important part. It knows its own limits and can pass the conversation to a human expert at exactly the right moment. And the results of this approach, they're absolutely staggering. Businesses that are deploying these well-designed AI agent systems are seeing 40 to 60% automation in areas like customer service. And here is the kicker. They achieve this no matter which of the top AI models they use. It's the system that matters, not just the model inside. So we started this whole thing by asking which AI model you should be using in 2026. But it turns out that might be the wrong question entirely. The truly game-changing question we should be asking is this: what kind of intelligent system are you building around the model? Because that is the real key to unlocking the power of AI today.